It's good. It's good.
So who will say the shlokas today? Who wants to say? Repeat shlokas with me. Deepti ji. Okay. Unmute yourself, Deepti ji. So we'll start. Vinayaka namastubhyam.
Vinayaka namastubhyam.
Satatam modaka priya.
Satatam modaka priya.
Nirvignam kuru me deva.
Nirvignam kuru me deva.
Sarvakaryeshu sarvada.
Sarvakaryeshu sarvada.
Saraswati namastubhyam.
Saraswati namastubhyam.
Varade kamarupini.
Varade kamarupini.
Vidyarambham karishyami.
Vidyarambham karishyami.
Siddhirbhavatu me sada.
Siddhirbhavatu me sada.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu,
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu,
Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha,
Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha,
Guru Sakshat Param Brahma,
Guru Sakshat Param Brahma,
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha,
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha,
Shri Rama Rama Rameti,
Sri Rama Rama Rameti,
Rame Rame Manorame,
Rame Rame Manorame,
Sahasranama Tattulyam,
Sahasranama Tattulyam,
Rama Nama Varanane,
Rama Nama Varanane,
Apadamapahartaram,
Apadamapahattaram,
Dataram Sarvasampadam,
Dhataram Sarvasampadam,
Lokabhiramam Sriramam,
Lokabhiramam Shriramam,
Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham,
Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham,
Ramaya Ramabhadraya,
Ramaya Ramabhadraya,
Ramachandraya Vedhase,
Ramachandraya Vedase,
Raghunathaya Nathaya,
Raghunadhaya Nadhaya,
Sitayah Pataye Namaha,
Sitaya Pataye Namaha,
Sri Raghavam,
Sri Raghavam,
Dasharathatmajamaprameyam,
Dasaratmajamaprameyam,
Sitapatim,
Sitapatim,
Raghukulanvayaratnadipam,
Raghukulanvayaratnadipam,
Ajanubahum,
Ajanubahum,
Aravindalayataksam,
Arvindadalayataksam,
Ramam,
Ramam,
Nishachara Vinashakaram,
Shachara Vinashakaram,
Namami,
Namami,
Anjaneyam,
Anjaneyam,
Atipatalananam,
Atipatalananam,
Kanchanadrikamaniya Vigraham,
Kanchanadrikamaneya Vigraham,
Parijata Tarumula Vasinam,
Parijata Sarmulavasinam,
Bhavayami Pavamananandanam,
Bhavayami Pavamananandanam,
Yatra Yatra,
Yatra Yatra,
Raghunatha Kirtanam,
Raghunada Kirtanam,
Tatra Tatra,
Tatra Tatra,
Kritamastakанjalim,
Prasamastakanjalim,
Bhashpavari,
Bhashpavari,
Paripurnalochanam,
Paripurnalochanam,
Marutim,
Marutim,
Namata Rakshasantakam,
Namata Rakshasantakam.
पूजन्तं
पूजन्तं
राम रामेति मधुरं
राम रामेति मधुरं
मधुरं मधुराक्षरम्
मधुरं मधुराक्षरम्
आरुह्य
आरुह्य
कविताशाखां
कविताशाखां
वन्दे
वन्दे
वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्.
वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्.
The first 5 slokas, can we all say it together while I am saying? You say yourself, or do we want to lead and follow?
We can say it together.
We can say it together? Okay, we'll say it together then. Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidamvaram naradam paripapracha valmikirmunipumgavam konvasmin sampratam loke gunavan kasya vidyavan dharmajnasya kritajnasya satyavakyo dridhavratah चारित्रेण च को युक्तः सर्वभूतेषु को हितः विद्वान् कः कः समर्थश्च कश्चैकप्रियदर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को न सूयकः कस्य बिभ्यति देवाश्च जातरोषस्य संयुगे एतदिच्छाम्यहं श्रोतुम् परं कौतूहलं हि मे महर्षे त्वं समर्थोऽसि ज्ञातुमेवं विधं नरम्.
Bhogaji, just a quick introduction. Mandarji will be doing today's session recap. So just wanted to let everybody know that. That's all.
Super. Okay, let him do that.
Dhanyavad, Mandarji. Okay.
Sure, no problem. I'll try my best.
Okay, great, excellent. So I also thought that let us start every class with our recollecting Hindu Panchanga. We all know today is April 10th or 11th? I forgot. 10th. But let us also know it from the Hindu Panchanga. So Pancha Anga, there are 5 Anga parts of recognizing time according to our Hindu calendar. So the first one is called Samvatsara. What is every year has a name. We have 60 years in Hindu Panchang. And so Shashti Purti we say, or Shashti Abdi Purti. When somebody is 60-year-old, according to Hindu calendar, then we celebrate a grand one because he has completed a cycle of 60 years. So in that, and every year has a name, not just numbers. So according to that name, this year, which started with this Ugadi, the name of this year is Sharvari. Everybody say that? Sharvari. And then in the year, we have 2 halves. There is Uttarayan, there is Dakshinayan. So right now we are in Uttarayan, where the sun is mostly traversing towards the northern side. And so we have longer days. So Uttarayan. Then of this half, the year is split into 6 ritus. In English, we have only 4 seasons. But in our Hindu Panchang, the precision is a lot more, 6 ritus. So an Ayanam has 3 ritus. The current ritu is Vasanta ritu. So the Chaitra Masa and the Vaishakha Masa, these 2 masas together, is called Vasanta ritu, which is equivalent to spring, but spring spreads into 3 months, whereas it is only less than that, just 2 months. So Sharvari Nama Samvatsaraha Uttarayanam. In that, the current month is Chaitra Masa, the first month of our calendar. Chaitra Masa. In the Masa, there are 2 fortnights. So there is Shukla Paksha, when you see moon growing and coming to the full moon day. And then waning, going into no moon day. So the growing fortnight is called Shukla Paksha. Shukla is white. So you see sky in the night, it is much more brighter. The other Paksha is Krishna Paksha, when it is dark. So right now it is Shukla Paksha. And in that Shukla Paksha, the Tithi today is Chaturthi. Because Paksha is 15. So the count goes from Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, and so on. Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, and all. So today is Chaturthi. And unlike the sun solar day, the Tithi and Nakshatras, they run, they run based on a time. So today Chaturthi is running till about 9:40 or so. And the Nakshatra that is there today is Anuradha. Anuradha is running till about 10:31. That means after 9:30 it is going to be Panchami Tithi. But because at sunrise we have Chaturthi, we consider today's Tithi any time during the day as Chaturthi Tithi. So Chaturthi Tithi, and then we have Nakshatram, which is Anuradha Nakshatram. So let's all say one more time. So Sharvari Nama Samvatsaraha, Uttarayanam, Chaitramasaha, Krishna Pakshaha, Chaturthi Tithihi, Anuradha Nakshatram. And then there are two more components called Yoga and Karana. For the lack of, or to avoid confusion, we'll just say Shubha Yoga and Shubha Karanam. Okay, so that's how Panchangam is. Okay, so having said that, we will jump to from where we left last time.
Babaji, quick question.
Made an excellent. Yes.
The nakshatra, is it like in some place? Satakani here. Is it like how do they decide nakshatra? Like, is it under some place we consider? Or?
Let's not get into that. Nakshatra is a set of constellations. At this point, at the time of sunrise, where was that constellation? Which constellation has come into the what is called as ascent? They say ascent is Lagnam. At that day's morning Surya thing. But anyway, this is not Jyotisha class. We'll not go into that. We can discuss that separately. Satakanaji, is that okay?
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
Yeah. So we started with. I think Sriranji made an excellent recap where he has went through every point that we discussed in our last few classes. So the first sarga starts with, as we said, Narada visits Valmiki's ashram. And so, when two great people visit, when we said both of them are tapasvis, Valmiki is tapasvi, Narada is tapaswadhyaya nirataha. So when great people meet, they talk great topics only. They don't talk useless topics. So Valmiki asked him, Narada, I want to know a great person with these 16 qualities. And we asked homework, another part of the homework was to list those 16 qualities. Who all have listed them? The Sanskrit names, we said. Sumir has listed, okay, good. Anyone else? Suprabhaji, super. Anyone else?
Soumya.
Nagaraj.
Soumya ji, Nagaraj ji, very good, very good. Good. So we have some good number, that is good. Shailaja. Padmaja ji. Okay, good. So of those qualities, we started with a few of them in the last class. So we said, Konvasmin Sampratam Loke, that's what he's asking. In this current world, in this current times, who is there with the following qualities? We started with Gunavan. Gunavan means one who is comprising all the gunas. And then we said Viryavan, somebody who has Atishaya Parakramaha, the ability to go beyond, to take over anything, everything. But then at the same time, then what does he become? He becomes Gajni or Gori. We said immediately, he qualifies that by saying, even though he has all that ability, he is a dharmajna. He goes by dharma, abides by dharma. He doesn't just like that take over everybody's, anybody's. He's not an aggressor. And in fact, that's why if you see, on one hand we say Dasharatha Maharaj or Rama, Sri Ramachandra, they were Chakravartis, we say. Chakravartis means in contemporary political view, that is why there is a problem in understanding. They think, there was never a nation called India till 1947 and all. Because their view is rule means a political rule. But for us, rule is influential rule, a samskara-based rule. That is how our Rashtra concept also comes up. And so, anyway, so Dharmajnaha, So he's abiding by dharma. He's jna, which means jnata. Jnata means the knower. Somebody who is completely aware of dharma, which means he's also a follower of dharma. It doesn't mean he is knower but doesn't follow. No, he's a follower of dharma also. And then we said, we gave a lot of definitions of what is dharma. Then we came to kritagnya, and we said we'll continue that from today onwards. So we covered gunavan, viryavan, dharmagnya, three qualities in the last session. Today we'll start with kritagnya. So there are several definitions given by different bhashyakaras of kritagnya. Most of us understand in our colloquial terms, kritagnya is gratitude, is generally the word that we know, right? We are grateful. If somebody is grateful, that is called kritagnya. If somebody has the gratitude, then that is called kritagnya. But what does grateful gratitude mean? In English, if we try to take the etymology, there is no equal, there is not such a great analogy or such a great comparison as our Sanskrit-based kritagnya word has. Krita means what? Kiya. In Hindi, if we translate, kiya, jo kiya, so krita, kritam it is called. Jna, as we said, is jnata, means knowledge, knower. So knower of something that is done. To whom? To him. That means if somebody did something to me, I remember it. If somebody did a good help, I remember. So here we are only saying krita. Krita means what? Jo kiya. Somebody would have done good to me, somebody would have done bad also to me. Right? So when we say kritagnya, it is good or bad that people have done to us, we remember. That is what it means. But then, if we remember, what should we do? Most of us, if somebody does good, okay, we might remember for a few days and then we might forget. But for bad, oh my God, we try to remember the whole life and worry and, not only worry, keep, what is it called? Frowning about it, right? But how does Rama, when Valmiki says kritagnya there, asks for kritagnya, what did he mean? As our Pandits say, several qualities. So the first one, I will say, you don't have to repeat. If you can, repeat within yourself. Katanchid upakarena kritena ikena tushyati na smaratyapakaranam shatamapyatmavattaya. This is one subhashitam, or a good definition of what is kritagnya. Kathanchit. I hope that most of you know Hindi, because to say this in English, it will be very difficult for me to translate. Kathanchit, what is it? Kaise bhi. Hindi mein bolte hain, kaise bhi. Somehow. Kathanchit, somehow or the other. Upakarena, krutena, ekena. Upakaram is help. Apakaram is hurt, harm. So, upakaram, ekena, kritena. Even if one time, one help activity, somebody did one good to me or to him, kathanchit, somehow, he might not have really done it intentionally. It might have accidentally, he might have helped me. Right? Kathanchit upakarena, kritena ekena, tushyati. Tushyati means tosha, santosha. He is happy. Anybody does even one small activity for Rama, he is happy. In fact, if you see, a similar quality or similar feeling is also expressed in Bhagavad Gita by Sri Krishna also. What does he say? You don't have to do great things for me. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati tadaham upaharshyami ashnami priyatatmanaha, he says. You don't have to do big things. Just give me one flower, one leaf, a bit of a drop of water, patram pushpam phalam, fruit. That is sufficient. You don't have to build like in Ganesh Chaturthi in Hyderabad, right? Or Khairatabad Ganesh Chaturthi. They will make 1 ton of a laddu. Big laddu. You don't have to make all that big, he says. Small thing is sufficient. So likewise, Rama also, कथञ्चित् उपकारेण कृतेन एकेन तुष्यति न स्मरति अपकाराणां शतमपि. Apakara is harm. He doesn't even remember. Na smarati. He doesn't remember. Apakaranam shatamapi. Even if you do 100 apakaras, he doesn't keep, what is the English word? Usi ke baare mein, he doesn't keep getting worried about it or grudging. He doesn't develop any grudge against it. Why? Atmavattaya. That is the quality there. There is another quality that is asked for Atmavan, if he is going to come. And so somebody who is Atmavan, who is confident of himself, he doesn't worry of harms done by others. Because he knows, so what? For example, he was supposed to become the crowned prince next day early morning at 4:30. He was told by last night to get ready. Hey, tomorrow morning is your ceremony, so get ready. And early morning is asked to come and asked to go to Vana. If it was anybody else, including Lakshmana and Shatrugna, they were about to fight and come on, we'll take over. Why? Who has the right for this? This is your right. You stay back. Others were like that. But Rama says, no, that's okay. Wherever I am, I will be the king. In a way, if you see in the Kishkinda Kanda, when Vali asks, Rama says the same. He says, hey, my father has asked Bharata to rule the urban areas and asked me to rule the forest areas. So in a way, I'm the king and I have the responsibility to keep dharma, he says. So somebody who is confident of himself, situations, places, times don't matter. They're always happy. They're always proud of themselves. They're so confident of themselves. Right? So Atmavattaya, Atmavan is that quality. One who is aware of himself, one who is confident of himself is Atmavan. That is the next quality that will come. But anyway, so that is preempted here. So because of that, he is Kritagnya. So one who is confident of himself so much that he doesn't worry about bad things done by others, harm done by others, but always remembers good things done to him. Another similar shloka only, but given by another Bhashyakara, is Kritam Katham Chit Jatopakritame Apakritimeva Janati Smarati Na Anantara Jata Apakriti Ganam Janati. Same meaning, said in a different shloka, in another way. So, and he says, Bhashvim api apakriti, Bhashvim apakritim upekshya ekam api upakritim Bhashvim manyata. So what he's saying is, even if you do one small help, he takes it as Bhahvi. Bhahvi is Bahut. Even if you have done one help, he'll take it as, oh, he has done so much help to me. He has done so many helps to me. That's how he will take. But apakriti is apakara, harm. Even if you have done several harms to him, he takes it as he doesn't even care. He doesn't even know it. But you do it one help, he takes it as so many helps. So such quality is Kritagnya. And we see how he builds so many friends as he walks through his life, in the remaining life. Friends in all walks of life. Friends who are of Nishadas, friends who are Vanaras, friends who are Rakshasas, friends who are other, emperors and kings also, right? From across the globe. In fact, when you read Yuddhakanda, there they list from how many nations, how many different nations, various kings and other people come to join Rama's army. Because everybody wants to join Rama's army. Because he's only a befriending person. He cannot have enemies, right? So the next quality. So Kritagnya, any quality or anyone has any comment or anyone who wants to say anything about Kritagnya?
Satyakani here. It just actually was a reminder. Gurudev often says that problems never come from outside. And then it actually struck me. I was not able to accept what he said. So, but slowly I practiced what he said, but now I see Rama's quality about that.
Yeah. If you are happy inside, world is happy for you. If you are confident of yourself, the world doesn't seem any more threatening to you. Yes. So Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritajnaha. We saw 4 qualities. We'll go to the Satyavakya. I think all of us know this, Satyavakya. But still, what does Satyavakya mean? Satya is another big term that we have to understand very carefully, because otherwise most of us get misguided or misunderstood. We misunderstand. Oftentimes, the one small story is told in Upanishads also. There is one sadhu. He was doing some, let us say, tapas, or he was doing his tapas. There are some goons or some, bad guys, right? They come trying to chase him. And he said, oh boy, what is this? Why are they coming to me? So he tries to run. And they are chasing him. So the sadhu runs, and he enters, somebody's house, a small hut. And he says, hey, those four guys, guNas are coming. They are coming with all, weapons. They want to kill me. I'll hide me here. If they come, don't tell that I'm here. Right? So, he says, okay, go stay in that small, bathroom, whatever. So he goes hides in that small bathroom. Now these 4 goons come and ask the homeowner, hey, did one sadhu guy come here? We were chasing him. Now what should this guy, homeowner, say? If he wants to speak Satya, is the question asked there. Now, Satya doesn't mean, so there is a Ritam, there is a word called Ritam, there is a word called Satyam. So, Yatartha Kathanam is Satyam, is one definition of it. But Dharma Sthapana Vachanam is also Satyam. So, to protect this sadhu, because sadhu is a great person, from these 4 goons, if you are a Dharmajna, you will make the decision of not revealing that sadhu is here. For an ordinary person, it will seem like asatya, but for Dharma, it is Satya. That is not a problem. Right? So, having given that background, Satyavakya, Kruchreshu api. But now we are saying Kruchra. Kruchram in Sanskritam is difficult times or painful times, turbulent times, harmful times. Kruchreha. So Kruchreshu, even in such troublesome times, Kruchreshu api. Api means even in troubled times, Kruchreshu api amrita shunyam. Mritam, as we said, is another synonym of Satya, which is Yatartha Kathanam. So, Kruchreshu api amrita shunyam. Amrita is non-rita, which is false. Amrita shunyam, no amritas at all, 0 amritas. Kruchreshu api amrita shunyam vakyam vachanam yasya saha satyavakya. So he is satyavakya, one whose speech never has any false statements or any incorrect statements or bad statements, even in the times of difficulty, even in the worst times. So that is one definition of Satyavakya given. Kruchreshapi anrutashunyam vakyam vachanam yasya saha Satyavakya. And to say this, Rama, there is an absolute statement of his, which comes later in Balakanda. He says, Anrutam nokta purvam me nacha vakshe kadachana. As I said, right, most of our movie dialogues, if there has to be a powerful dialogue, it cannot be other than from our original old ancient texts. So, Anrutam nokta purvam me, jhoot mujhse kabhi bola nahi, na vakshe kadachana, na bolunga bhi kabhi. Never was a false, never was untruth said by me, never will it be told by me. Something like that. So Anrutam Nokta Purvam me Nacha Vakshe Kadachana. That's his promise. That's his statement. And we all know this, right? Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam, Priyancha Nanrutam Bruyat, Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. And we said in first or second class, I think, we all repeated this, that Esha Dharma Sanatanaha. This is a line that keeps coming in Ramayana often, because it is trying to remind us that Ramayana is all about dharma. Right? To understand what is dharma, Esha Dharma, that too Sanatanaha. It is not invented, or coded. It is not written by somebody recently or since when. No, it is eternal. This is how the dharma has been. It never had to be changed, is what it means. So what is it? There are two terms here. Satyam, Priyam. Those are the two terms. If you see, they try to make 4 combinations of it. We always know, right? There are 2 variables. How many combinations you can make out of them? 4. There are 3 variables. You can make 9. So out of this, there are 4 combinations made. What are they? Bruyat. It means bolega, which is say, to utter. So Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat. That is the first thing. You always talk. Satyam is truth. Priyam is pleasantly. Say it in a nice word. Right? We don't want to say it in a very hurt manner. We don't want to say it in a hurting manner. We always want to say it in a very pleasing manner. So Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat. That is the ideal situation. Now Bruyat Satyam Apriyam. Priyam is pleasantly. Apriyam is unpleasantly. So na Bruyat means don't say Satyam. Don't say truth in an unpleasant manner. Say it pleasantly. Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam. But then the other opposite, corollary of it is what? Priyam cha na Amritam Bruyat. Amritam, we said, is Asatyam. So even pleasantly, don't say false statement. Don't say untruth. So Priyam cha na Amritam Bruyat, Eshaha Dharmaha Sanatanaha. So say the truth, say it pleasantly. Just because it is truth, don't say it in a harsh way. Just because you want to say it pleasantly, don't say false, untruth. To take it in for adults, again, for us coming from Bharat, right? This appeasement thing, even here nowadays, leftist is always appeasing, right? You don't want to appease, just for the sake of appeasing, you don't want to appease adharma, anrutam. Never appease anrutam. Even if it becomes harsh, we will stick to dharma. We don't have to appease. In a way, that is how we can take the summary of this one. The reason I'm saying is because we have to when we say Satyavakya, if we just take it as simple telling truth, not telling false, then that is more at a kindergarten level of study. But at a graduated level of study, we have, only when we do all these various substantiating definitions given by our rishis, then as we go forward and study Ramayana, we'll understand each incident in the correct light, from the correct perspective. And of course, we all know this, right? In Hindi, this is the most thing. Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. Let us give away life, but never break the promise. And that is idealized by Rama himself. So that is about Satyavakya. Any questions or comments here?
Very well explained, Bhogaji.
So Gunavan, Ji, say it.
This is Dinesh. I'm saying, you explained pretty well. Thank you.
Oh, Dinesh, Dinesh full name?
Katoch.
Dinesh Katochi. Acha. Because there is another Dinesh Janalgedda, so I was wondering who it is. So we will again repeat the qualities. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritagnaha, Satyavakyaha. We covered 5 qualities so far. So we'll go to Drudha Brataha. Drudha, I think we all know, right? Drudha is strong. Equivalent in English word is strong, or sturdy. Right? Somebody who is sturdy, strong is Drudha. And Vrata is a big term that we have to understand. We say Satyanarayana Vrata, for example, right? Or we say, whatever, Gauri Vrata. What does it mean, Vrata mean? Vrata essentially means, wow, should I say, it is very tough to translate it into English. But you've a resolution. You've taken a resolution and you're trying to stick to it. That is called Vrata, typically. So when on Satyanarayana Vrata, we say that, hey, that day, in the morning, you make the vow. Hey, entire day, I'm going to stay upvas. Upvas again, not as in fasting. I'm going to be with you. Vasa is live. I'm going to live nearby you, which means either physically nearby you or in heart, nearby you. And at the end of the day, I'm going to worship you. So you make a sankalpa like that in the morning and then carry on the whole day. End of the day, you do the worship part of it and you listen to the story. So then that is called Satyanarayana Vrata. That means you made a vow for one day. Right? And like when somebody does a vow for a month, somebody does a vow for a year, somebody make vows for life. So Drudha Vrataha, when we take various such vratas, what are various vratas that Rama takes? Oh my God. Tell me several times he says, this is my vrata, and he says it so proudly, for example. So Nischala Sankalpaha is how Drudha Vrata means. Sankalpa, you make a Sankalpa. And we talked about this Sankalpa on the very first Sri Ram Navami itself, recollecting the Seva International Sankalpa Abhiyan that we are doing, right? Seva Sankalpa Abhiyan. So likewise, Sankalpa is a Sankalpa, what is the English word?
Commitment.
Commitment. Okay. But we all understand. I hope we all understand. How many Kishores are there? Who all Kishores?
Resolve, Bhogaji.
Might be a better
word. Right? Huh? This is Vikramji. This is Vikram Bhogaji. Resolve might be a better word.
Resolve. Resolve is a good word, yeah. So you make a resolution. You make a resolve that, yes, I'm going to do this. That is Sankalpa. So
determined also.
Sankalpa. Chala is
determined.
Determination is dhriti. That comes as the next quality. But Sankalpa is you make a resolution that I'm going to do this, I'm going to stick to this, I'm going to achieve this kind of resolution. Yeah, you make a resolve. Yeah. So Chala is move. Nischala, no moving, which means still strong resolution you make. So that is the Dridha Vrataha. And for example, now what are various Vrata that he has taken up so strongly and remained for it throughout the life? In fact, if you see, Rama lived for, we say, 11,000 years. In fact, he ruled for 11,000 years. 11,000 plus number of years, let us say. So for life, when we say, it is not like our judicial system where they say sentence for life. In India means what, about 18 years or 20 years. An ordinary life of work means 35 years, 40 years. A life for living, as we know in our calendar, is 60 years. Rama had to live by this vrata for 11,000 plus years. That is Dridha Vrata. And hence rishis were like, oh my God, what are you, Rama? They're his fans. And nobody can but not be his fans. I'm amazed by them. And what do you say? I am short of English vocabulary, unfortunately. But I think you understand. I'll try to express more through animation than words sometimes, okay? So look at me, my feelings, and try to imagine the equivalent word that you know in your language there. So all the rishis were amazed of him because of this. He lived this vrata, he lived his resolutions, he lived his principles for the life of 11,000 plus years. And what is that? One of them is Ekapatni Vrata. There might have been several kings before him also who were Ekapatni, who had only one Patni. But he was the one who has made it a principle. He said, hey, this is my vrata hereafter. This is my vrata. I am Ekapatni vrata. Nobody, I think, as we know, before him has declared as such, has made a statement like that, or has made a sankalpa saying, I am going to be Ekapatni vrata. Some of them remained Ekapatnis with only Brahmapatnis, but several Kshatriyas for the dharma of establishing their clan in several places, they always used to have several wives before. But Rama, being a Kshatriya also, I do not know. He said, Ekapatni vrata, that's it. And he remained. And as we go later, probably when we get another chance next time, we will understand. If we understand this point of Ekapatni vrata of Rama, no feminist can ever complain about, all the things that they say. Because the love that he had for Sita, and he said, no, I cannot marry one at a time. Even after so many rishis, his sister equivalent Shanta, and several people have recommended Rama marry, at least for doing Ashwamedha Yajna. He said, no, that is my vrata, Dridha vrata. In Yuddha Kanda, when Vibhishana, finally, after all the fight with Ravana, after all the convincing with Ravana, he thinks, now I cannot live here anymore. This is too much. I cannot side this adharma anymore. I will go and join Rama. So he comes, walks over the sea and enters the camp. Rama, they all have their camp, right? Like their bike. Every night they sit down and they plan. They review what has happened today, who all have we lost, etc. What is our strategy tomorrow? What is our plan tomorrow? So in the Yuddha Shivira, Vibhishana is walking and is entering. It is a bit night, right? And it's dark. So somebody says, hey, somebody is coming from there. Hey, I'm going to go kill him. And Angada says, oh, I'm going to kill him. Who is he? And somebody recognizes and says, no, it is Vibhishana. Oh, Vibhishana. My God, I have to kill him. He's Ravana's brother. I'm going to kill. Angada gets up. Sugriva gets up. Somebody else gets up. And then Hanuman also says, yes, we have to stop him. Why is he coming here? Then Rama says, that is another definition of Dridha vrata. What does he say? Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etad vratam mama. What is the shloka starting? Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etad vratam mama. He says. He tells all his camp, his committee members there. Sakrid, one time. Sakrideva, only once. Prapannaya tava asmi. Prapanna, we all know, right? In Vaishnava Sampradaya, Prapanna is fall down, surrender, absolute surrender, unconditional surrender. Prapannaya tava asmi. I am yours. Sincerely yours. Forever yours. If anybody writes letter to Rama and says, sincerely yours at the end, which means tava asmi, and even if he writes one such letter, tava asmi sakrideva prapannaya iti yachate, if somebody speaks that surrender of mine to me, unto me, abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami. Bhayam is fear. Abhayam is no fear. I will give that situations of abhayam. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo, not just to human beings, not just to my camp members, sarva bhutebhyo, to all beings. Now, whether that is living, non-living also doesn't matter. Forget human beings. Living or non-living also doesn't matter. Sarva bhutebhyo abhayam dadami. Dedunga, I'll give abhayam. Etad vratam mama. This is my vrata. So, as we read Ramayana, oh my God, Rama has so many vratas. Every vrata is a Dridha vrata. So that is why Valmiki is asking. One with the Dridha vrata. So I already listed it here. Sakrideva prapannaya. Here, in fact, you all repeat after me in mute only. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadam etad mama. In fact, just taking this line, oh my God, how many devotees, even in recent times, as recent as 100 years before, 150 years before, Tyagaraja, for example, because I'm from South, I know more of southern saints. Tyagaraja Swami, he has seen Rama. Bhadrachala Ramadasa from Bhadrachala, he has seen Rama. And innumerable number of such people across the country, Tulsidas and all. And they would fight with Rama. Rama, you promised. You said you will come for me. Where are you? The Bhadrachala Ramadas is one such, what do you call him? Pure devotee. But he shouts at Rama sometimes. He vituperates Rama, which means गालियां देते हैं Rama को. क्या आपका बाप का माल समझा क्या जो मैंने आपके लिए ये मंदिर में इतने सारे बनाया. He says, because out of he gets so much lashes by this Nizams, they keep in the torture in the jail, that unable to bear that, he shouts at Rama sometimes. He blames Rama, he calls bad words on Rama. It's all out of love, because you think he's your own person, that you will call him anything, right? You will love him, you will shout at him, you will hug him, you will do anything to him. Why? All because of this vachana. Rama that said, hey, abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etad vratam mama, he says. So dridha vrataha. There is another, oh my God, Rama, as we see, between Rama and Krishna is a lot more, what do you say? Krishna is a lot more attractive. I mean, his very name is attractive, right? He is attractive through his interactions, through his character, through his abilities, through his achar. Right? Krishna is more attractive. But Rama sometimes is very, very curt. Rama, he stands by the principle. In spite of that, people love him. So that is a different thing. So he says this in Aranyakanda to Sita. Apyaham jivitam jahyam svam va site salakshmanam nahi pratignyam samsrutya brahmanebhyo visheshataha. He says, api means even svam va site, even whether it is you or along with Lakshmana, jivitam jahyam, I'm going to give away my life. Means I will, if required, I will die. Apyaham jivitam jahyam, I will die if required. And if required, I will give away not only my life, I will give away you also, my beloved Sita, or along with Lakshmana. But will never give away the vow, the promise that I make, especially to Brahmanas. He says, Brahmana there as in all those rishis. I mean, let's not go by caste and all, but it is what it means is the intellectuals, the sincere, great, learned people who are working to protect the universe and all through various yajnas, homas and all, through various endeavors. Let's take yajna as endeavor, their efforts of sustainability, etc., right? Research and all. So to such people, if Rama makes a promise, he says, I will never walk away from that promise. If required, I will give away my life, or you, Sita, my beloved Sita, or Lakshmana, my heart. Bahipranaha, they say. Lakshmana is outside prana. Inside there is prana, of course, within this body. But Lakshmana is Bahiprana of Rama. And he says, Pratignyam samshrutya brahmanebhyo visheshataha nahi jahyam. I'm not going to give that up. I will give up anything to keep the promise given to these rishis. That's Dridha Vrata again. So some of the, it is sort of preempting trailer. Some of the shlokas of Rama that I'm quoting here only, but these are again from Ramayana only. So that is the kind of Dridha Vrata. And of course, as we know, in very Ayodhya Kanda, as Rama first goes, the first day he leaves for Vanavasa, they cross the Sarayu Nadi, they reach Chitrakuta, and immediately once, Bharata comes to know, Bharata says, oh my God, who asked for this? I didn't want this coronation for me. And he said, come on, let's go. I'm going to go bring back Rama, whatever it takes. And along with him, all the rishis, the entire cabinet, all ministers, everybody walk with him. So they all go meet Rama, and everybody persuades. In fact, there is one rishi there called Jabali. He tries to play the sort of devil's advocate role, but unfortunately, and again, when we read that, you will understand how curt Rama is, even for, even for the sake of fun. Even for the sake of fun, you talk something wrong, Rama is not going to spare that. So that's why I said, Rama is not a funny person, whereas Krishna is very funny. That is why he is more attractive. Rama is not funny. He doesn't accept fun, even for fun if you say dharma, adharma. So Jabali says, hey, come on, Rama, your father is gone now. Now he's dead. What does it matter now? Who's going to see what woe you gave to him? Come back, man, enjoy. This is exactly what Jabali Rishi says when they all come and they are trying to persuade. Bharata persuades in his own style. Vasishta also says, several other ministers also tell him, Rama, come, that's okay, come back now. He doesn't listen. So Jabali finally thinks, okay, let me now make a materialistic, luring, advice to Rama. And poor fellow, he makes this devil's advocate kind of a thing. Rama, who is going to see? What? If you put this pinda here, do you think your Dashrath is coming and eating it here? Come on, Rama, be practical, man. Come back. Roll. That kind of a, I'm trying to give it some acting like that. But eventually these lines are something like that. Rama becomes so angry about that Jabali Rishi. And just that you are elder to me, you're a Rishi, I'm sparing you. But otherwise, don't you ever say that kind of a statement, he says. He says, go away. And then they decide that night, after sending them all back, oh my God, now if I continue to stay here, they all know where I am. They will keep coming and keep persuading me to stick to my promise that I made to my father that I will be away for 14 years. I have to go further away. And that's when he enters Dandakaranya. So that is the Dridhavrata. So Valmiki, when he asked for these qualities, he did not know all that. But, he just asked, tell me one person who has all these qualities. Later when Narada tells him and Valmiki starts, contemplating and gets all the darshana, then he sees all these details. But for us to understand, because if we understand these qualities up front, then we study Ramayana from a different perspective, from a more relevant and non-misunderstanding perspective. That is why I'm trying to elaborate all these qualities more now itself. So far, what all qualities? Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritajnaha, Satyavakyaha, Dridhavrataha. We took we studied 6 qualities so far. How are we doing on time? 8:27.
Yeah, Bhugal, we actually are just going to interrupt. Yeah, it's almost 8:27. I don't know how long you want to continue or also,
you are Kala. So you tell me.
All right. So I think we will go for another maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. Can we do one more slide, or if not, then we'll stop here today. That's what I wanted to know from you.
Yeah. So Charitrena Chako Yuktaha. We'll try to do this quality and then stop there and take any questions if anybody has. Right. Okay. So the next quality is Charitrena Cha Yuktaha. So Charitra means what? Charitram eva Charitram, they say in the Bhashya. Charitram, if you see, as I was saying, right, that day we said Sampratam, if you try to give a phonetic, if you try to make it a little tougher, then it becomes contemporary. Sampratam, contemporary. Likewise, annotation request. Pradeep is requesting to annotate the shared content. Should I approve or decline? What is this? What does annotation mean? Pradeep, I'll decline for now. So that we'll keep this slide here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So charitram, charitra, charitra, character. Okay, an equivalent, not an equivalent, a very closer, the farthest equivalent is charitra, character. CH becomes sometimes ka, sometimes cha, right? So charitra, charitra, character, character, essentially charitra. Now, but what is the etymology for it? How did that word come? Charati. Charati is moves. Chalati, charati, ralayor abhidana. So chalati, how are you moving is your charitra. That means how you act, how you talk, how you think, how you behave. That is your character. It is not that, oh, my character is a positive character. No. Every movement of your movement is essentially charitra. So, charitrena cha yuktaha. Yuktaha is another word. Yukta comes from the word, or from the word yukta, the other most common word that we know is yoga. Yunkte iti yogaha. Yoga, we all know what is yoga about. We all know yoga is about dog pose, mountain pose, cat pose.
Yoga means union.
Yoga. Union, right. So union. So that is yoga. We all know, right? Yoga is being in unison, being in one with the divinity and all. That is yoga. So likewise here, charitrena cha yuktaha. That means non-dual. You talk one thing, you do something else. You say something, you think something else. That is not yoga. That is not yukta. Yukta is what you say is what you do. What you do is what you think. What you think is what you say, and so on. So that is then integral, an integral character. That is what we mean here. Charitrena cha yuktaha. So whatever he says is what he acts. Dridhavrataha, right? Whatever he says, Abhyam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etat vratam mama. If he says that, that is what he does. That is what he thinks. So charitrena cha ko yuktaha. Nitya kulacharena yuktaha. This is another bhashya given. Govindaraja bhashyam. So charitrena cha yuktaha. What did probably Valmiki mean by that? As our bhashyakara say here is nitya kulachara. So every family has some traits, has some, their tradition, has some responsibilities, right? Has some what do you say? Has a pattern, has a trend of doing certain things, right? So trying to continue that character, trying to continue that expectations, those responsibilities forever, nityam. So nitya kulacharena yuktaha is also what we mean here as. So Rama is a Kshatriya, and so even though he goes for Vanavasa, he never gives up his Kshatriya Lakshana. And in fact, Sita asked that, oh my God, there will be several conversations in Aranyakanda. Sita asked him, oh my God, what? You are behaving strangely, Rama. On one hand, you are wearing Kashaya Vastra. You have Jata Juta. You no more hair styling and all. It's all tied with some milk of one of those trees. GD we say in Telugu. GD Palu. I do not know what it is in English or Hindi. But one of the trees, sap, white sap keeps coming. It's a very thick, gummy sap. So normally in the tribes, when they go, what they do, they cannot take care of no salons, no beauty salons, no haircuts, etc. So to ignore the hair styling, what they do, they apply that sap from the tree, so that now the hair is stuck. Now you don't have to worry about it. One less activity to worry about. So he has that jata with the sap, and he's wearing kashaya dress, but he's wearing that his dhanu, sharna dhanu, he's always having it, and quiver of arrows. Each one is not just an ordinary arrow of another tribal person. It's not a wooden arrow. He has all the astras. He has all the astras given by Vishwamitra, and he, as he visits each ashrama, he is acquiring more weapons and more weapons and more weapons. Sharavanga gives him more weapons. Agastya gives him weapons. Bharadwaja gives him weapons. Every rishi is giving him more and more weapons, and he's carrying all of them with him. So Sita asks, "What is this, Rama? On one hand, you're looking like a rishi, like a sannyasi in your dress, and you are carrying these weapons, and you are want to fight." And he kills 14,000 Rakshasas in one shot event. He kills 14,000 Maricha's followers in one shot. So, what is this? And then he answers it in very detail, saying, "Hey, I am a Kshatriya. So Nitya Kulachara is my responsibility. Wherever I am, my duty, my responsibility. I am meant, I am born, I am designed to give protection to the good people. Shishta Rakshana, Dushta Sikshana, as told by Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita. So Nitya Kulacharena Yuktaha. I think we are running out of time. We'll stop there. So we'll all repeat the qualities again. Gunavan, say it with you. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritagnaha, Satyavakyaha, Dridhavrataha, Charitrena Yuktaha. So we covered so far 7 qualities. One more session. I think by next session we'll complete the 16 qualities. But again, as I said, right, nobody is thinking that, oh, after the 16 qualities, this course is over. Does anybody think like that? It doesn't get over even with the first sarga. We will be studying it for life. At least 2 years, we will most probably cover it and trying to plan it and to complete it in two years. Let us see. But if we love it, we will take it beyond also. But do you all like this space? Does anyone think, hey, somebody might say, oh, no, don't tell me all this. Just tell me the story. I'm fine with it. For them, I want to say, you can go to that website. We already gave the URL here. If anybody thinks, so just tell me the story, that is sufficient. Then you can read the shlokas and the meaning in English there. If anybody can study more, all the bhashyas are also here, commentaries. You have English commentaries, you have Sanskrit commentaries, right? So you can read all that by yourself. But why are we studying Ramayana? Very first day on Thursday we said, because we want to understand dharma. What are those values? What are those principles? What are those bases for composing Ramayana, for recording Ramayana? We want to understand that, and hence we are taking Ramayana as one example textbook. But the idea is to study our Hindu Dharma, our Sanskriti. And so we will, as and when possible, we will delve so deep and so in detail, that sometimes some of you might feel, hey, don't bother so much about it. I know it. If you think so, yeah, feel free and tell me. Bhogaji, I think Bhogar, we know it. Continue with the next shloka. If you think so, feel free to tell me that. But otherwise, this is the style, or this is the intention of this course. As I said, if you just want to read the story, you can read it on the website. There are so many books, concise, precise, detailed, all levels of books are there. You can read them. But to understand it from our contemporary Samaja Drishti, for the current times, for the current Samaja, for the current world, how to understand Ramayana, how to see the relevance of Ramayana, and how do we learn from Rama? So that, as I said the very first day, we should make millions of Ramas today. Only then we can sustain this world from the Rakshasas. There are so many Rakshasas today. And to fight them, we need so many Ramas in us. And that is also another intent. I'll stop here. Any comments, questions, Sriranji?
Just one comment. I like the detail in which you are going and the explanation you give. Request to please continue the same.
This is Ravan.
That's one. Yeah, good.
I
was wondering if we want to finish in. Can we start half an hour early so that we have more content?
Who was saying that? Can you repeat one more time? I did not get it.
This is Lava.
Lavaji.
Basically, we are enjoying. I feel like we are missing out. We are covering only. We are interested to learn more. That's my opinion. So maybe can we do half an hour more? I don't know. It's just general comment for everyone. So I don't know if that's possible.
I
think he's
could not
requesting.
hear it clearly.
He's requesting off.
Did anyone hear it, Sriranjit, or anyone else?
I think he's requesting
No,
off.
actually, maybe,
That is what I'm thinking.
yeah, can you post it in the chat or something, because nobody could hear it properly, I think. I'm going to stop recording while I just wanted to.
He's
Maybe
requesting off.
text it, your comments. I hope it is.